Nightmare Alley, A Man Called Otto, Romance on Ice, all films that were filmed here in Western New York over the last few years, and there are many more beyond that. It's exciting for local gawkers who are trying to get a look at the stars, for film goers also who like to see those scenes on the big screen. But at what cost? Tonight the question, should your tax dollars help subsidize the salaries of Hollywood writers, directors, even actors to the tune of $700 million a year in tax credits? Well, that's what Governor Kathy Hochul is now proposing. She wants to bump the state's film and TV tax break to 30%, adding almost $300 million to the current annual cap of $420 million. The commissioner of the Buffalo Niagara Film Office went before state lawmakers and stressed the importance of these tax breaks and talked about how they help Western New York specifically.
Before a competitive tax incentive was instituted here in New York, movies that were set in Buffalo were shot in places like Winnipeg, Manitoba, Toronto, Ontario, Southern California. Now Buffalo has doubled for cities such as Los Angeles, Hartford, Connecticut, Clarksdale, Mississippi, and even Martha's Vineyard. I'd say that is an amazing reversal of fortune for our town.
The new proposal would be the largest tax break the state offers to a single industry. Governor Hochul points to the 57,000 jobs and $20 billion in spending created by this program. And joining us live now to discuss, as we said, is the aforementioned Commissioner for the Buffalo Niagara Film Office, Tim Clark. Tim,
hi,
thanks
Michael.
so much for coming in. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
You were there in Albany,
right,
taking the questions from the lawmakers at this budget hearing. Some people have said this was already a generous program. The governor's proposal here is to make it even more generous.
Right.
Why is it a good idea?
Well, you know, I think it's a matter of all the states around us pay this above the line salaries of the director and of the actors and so forth, and we don't. And for a long, long time we could get away with it, but now we're losing a lot of projects to places like Ohio, New Jersey, and certainly Georgia. They pay above the line and they pay a lot of money out. So we're losing a lot of that business to other states.
Yeah, Georgia has really become like the Hollywood of the South.
Yeah,
right?
I was there not too long ago, and I got to tell you, it's hard to turn a corner there without seeing a movie truck. That's for sure.
So part of this incentive as well, there is an additional bit of money that goes for filming outside of New York City. We think of everything that happens in Manhattan, like Law and Order right here on Channel 2, right from there. There are a million shows. The incentive goes beyond the baseline when it's outside New York City. How much does that benefit Western New York? Are we getting a good chunk of that?
We're getting a pretty good chunk of it, and it could be more. You know, the governor's proposal needs some tweaks. There are some certain problems with the upstate film tax incentive. And it's really kind of a industry-wide thing in New York State. The big shows that happen in New York City gobble up the big pot of money, and then we're sort of left with some crumbs up here, and so we're trying to just kind of arrange that. I was very fortunate to appear before the Senate and the Assembly the other day to talk a little bit about it. Senator Sean Ryan from here was there asking very probative questions, and although a supporter of the tax credit program, I think he wants to make sure that Western New York gets its fair share. So we're grateful for lawmakers like him and others that are working on this issue.
So when you say that tweaks are needed, is that to say that this little bit of additional money incentive maybe isn't enough and that still so much of it is going to New York City?
No, you know what it is? So right now there's that $420 million cap, and what happens is when it's exhausted, they roll it into the following year. So we're like 2-3 years behind in some cases of getting some of this money back. So if I'm an investor in a movie, I'm going to take my movie to New Jersey because I'll get it back within, 12 months or 18 months tops. So it's that's where that money gets gobbled up. Like last year, they tell me that it was almost $1 billion of earned film tax credits in New York State. Well, that's a lot more than $420 million. So that just rolls over and rolls over. So the state really has to address this. And I know the governor is very centered in her heart up here in upstate. So we're hoping that she sees this and understands it and fixes it.
Tax breaks are always controversial, right?
They are,
and in this state, we give away a lot of them.
We do.
What data or anecdotal information can you share with us on why this one is good for the film industry in our region? I mean, how much of an impact are we seeing here?
Well, quite an impact. You know, I don't think the Guillermo del Toro and the Tom Hanks movies and stuff like that would pay attention too much to Western New York if it weren't for some of these breaks. I will say that it's just driven a lot of business here, and you know, Hollywood has certainly taken notice of Western New York. It was never a place on anybody's radar screen, and now it is. And we've grown this wonderful crew base here. These people are making really good money, the union crew, and the actors are getting deeper. You know, the Screen Actors Guild is exploding their ranks here, as well as the Directors Guild, the Producers Guild, and so many other unions as well.
What is the short-term future for filming in Western New York? We've talked a lot about a couple of these facilities that are now here, some sound stages and doing that sort of stuff.
Yep.
How is that going? And of course, the pandemic sort of paused so many things. Is that taking off?
It's exciting, yeah. Buffalo Filmworks in South Buffalo is still up and running, and they're about to open what we think is one of North America's largest sound stages. Go figure, in Buffalo, right? And then we have the Niagara Studios opening in September up on Niagara Street in West Ferry. So these are exciting new businesses that will bring even more film production to Western New York. As long as we fix those tweaks, we should be in pretty good shape. And yeah, the future is very bright. We just finished a Christmas movie. Fred and his son Chris Ray were here shooting a holiday movie. This is their 21st between the two of them in like 8 years. It was insane. And then we took another call. Just this is a new one for you.
Here we go.
So here we go, exclusive to Channel 2, a new one this morning that we're working on. And so it's a long way to go, but this would be a really huge movie, and if we get it, you guys will be the first to know.
Hey, we'd love to have you back and hear about it.
Yeah.
It is exciting, and it does do something. It's cool when you see it on the big screen and you see Western New York, and we think of, you know, the Marshall movie that was there, and of course Guillermo del Toro's, and it's...
You know, and Guillermo may come back too. We keep hearing all kinds of things. You know, he wants to buy a house here, and
he loved
it. He who wouldn't fall in love with this town? You know, it's the secret that we all know that you know, live here. And when these folks from Hollywood and beyond come here to see what we have here, they're really quite impressed. Absolutely. You know, the culinary scene is something that really, truly impresses everybody too. So many great restaurants here.
Definitely helps. Tim Clark is the film commissioner here in the Buffalo Niagara region. Tim, thanks for coming on, and let us know when you nail down that contract.
I promise I will, and it's been a privilege to be here with you.
Thanks,
Michael.